Hey everybody, we are in week 5 of quarter 4 and we are doing radicals still. Today we are going to be multiplying radicals. So all this week it's all going to be about multiplying radicals. Next week in week 6 we'll add and subtract. So we're taking things kind of slow still. We are multiplying radicals. So when you have, look at the example, when you have 3 times the square root of 2 times 4 times the square root of 5. Step 1 tells you to multiply the coefficients and the radicands. The radicands are the little numbers underneath. You're going to multiply those separately, basically. Okay, so you don't go across. You don't distribute or anything when they're written side by side like that. You want to multiply whatever's on the outside times the outside and the inside times the inside. And so at the end, if you can, you would have to simplify. So our steps for this example mean we are going to multiply the 3 times the 4. So 3 times 4, I'm going to write this over here, is 12. And then we need to multiply the 2 times the 5. So whatever's on the inside of the radical, we're going to multiply that together. So I draw my radical sign and I get 10. Now the last step would be to simplify the square root of 10. Well, if I want to break down the square root of 10, I just have a 2 and a 5. And that's as far as I can go. So nothing else could be simplified. So my final answer would be 12 times the square root of 10. All right, let's try a couple of these. We want to multiply the outside times outside, inside times inside, and then simplify if possible. So the first one, we're going to multiply the 9 times the 5. So 9 times 5 is 45, and we write that on the outside. And on the insides, for inside the radical, or the radicands as they're called, 2 times 6. So I have 12. Okay, and so don't be tricked that that's the only thing you have to do. The 12 can be broken down because we can break down 12 with 2 and 6, and we break down 6 with 2 and 3. So here we have a pair of 2's, so that 2 would need to come out. Well, there's already a 45 sitting outside. So I do 2 times 45, and I get a 90. The only number that stays on the inside is that 3 that I didn't circle. So the answer for this problem would be 90 times the square root of 3. All right, let's try one more in this video. Now this one has 3 radical expressions. That means we just multiply all 3 outsides times each other, and we multiply all 3 insides times each other. So 4 times negative 8, well 4 times negative 8 is negative 32, and negative 32 times 2, so I'm doing 4 times negative 8, and then times 2. That gives me a negative 64. Negative 64. And on the inside of my radical, I need to multiply 3 times 15. Well, 3 times 15 is 45. And then 45 times 2. So I'm multiplying all of these radicals together on the inside. So 3 times 15 was 45 times 2. That gives me 90. So now I want to break down the 90. Okay, I can break down 90 if I want to start with 2. So 2 and 45 is what gives me a 90. My 45, okay, I can't break it down with a 2, but I can break it down with a 3. 3 times 15. Okay, and then, sorry, this pen is hard to use, but I wanted to have one where I wasn't just uncovering. I wanted to actually work the problems out for you. I break down 15 with a 3 and a 5. And that's as far as I can go with breaking down 15. So these 3's are a pair, so the 3 can come out. Well, that 3 needs to get multiplied times negative 64. So I'm going to need to grab my calculator and multiply times the negative 3 times negative 64. I believe that gives me 192, negative 192. And the numbers that I don't circle, I didn't circle a 2 and I didn't circle a 5. So 2 times 5 will get multiplied together and be left with 10. We'll pick up with about 3 or 4 more examples in our next video.